Can both of you tell us a little bit about the history of the Quaker community, what it was when the school was first established in 1908, and what it is now?
Okay.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
speak?
go ahead, Ellen.
Well, Quakers moved out from the Midwest, kind of some families that were searching for homestead property. Anson Cox is one of the names. Nordike, Brown is another family name. That came out in 1904 and 05. And by 06 and 07, they had began meeting as a church. And by 1907, they were already committing themselves to a school for their children. I think the closest school was Caldwell. So that was going to mean traveling. And in those days, that was going to be a big trip every day. And so they secured the land in 07 and began school in, I think Cora Beals is the lady's name, began school in her living room with 12 students. And then the next year they started building the school. So I think I mentioned about through the years that as they've added building, torn down the original one, added to the school as it grew. It started out as just a high school. And then in the 70s they added, or actually late 60s, they added the junior high. And then in the 70s added the elementary. So they did kind of the opposite of the model that you see now in building a school. A lot of schools start from the bottom. We started from the top down. So it was Quakers, but from the beginning they purposed that the school would not just be for Quakers. They purposed that school would be, obviously a Christian school, but it would be, not, they call it non-sectarian, so it would be non-denominational, interdenominational, and welcoming anyone that wanted a faith-based curriculum. What else do you want to add to that?
Well, I think from my perspective, both my sets of grandparents actually came here because the school attracted them. They wanted a Christian education for their children. And so my mom's grandparents, or her parents, actually my grandparents, actually homesteaded in parts of Wilder and came from Missouri. And out the old trails and settled in Wilder for a while and then ended up in Greenleaf and going to the academy. My dad's parents had migrated from Nebraska to Tacoma, Washington, and when they found out about the Greenleaf Friends Academy, they actually decided to move to Greenleaf so they could put their kids into Christian education. I think Ellen mentioned that we're certainly the oldest Christian school in Idaho and perhaps one of the few Christian schools in the Northwest at that particular time. So I have a strong family history here of my grandparents moving to this community to put their kids. And, of course, my mom and dad then graduated both together here at Greenleaf Friends Academy. And then I had aunts and uncles and cousins, and I even have a brother who graduated from Greenleaf Friends Academy. So there's a strong history of both sides of my family here at Greenleaf.
Yeah, we have some families. Let's see, the Fines. Is there another family that are third and fourth generation?
Mm-hmm.
Grandparents or great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and kids.
Yeah.
Here
So,
at the school.
strong tradition.
Yeah.
So, is the Quaker faith still very prominent in Greenleaf today, or has it kind of changed?
I think that I calculated it. I think it's like around 17% to 20% are from a Friends church, is Quaker church, and then all the rest are from I think about 40 different churches represented. So it's very broadly represented across the valley.
But would you say that religion is a strong part of the community?
Of the community of the school or
Greenleaf as a
community?
city? Mm-hmm.
I think so. The 4th of July celebration is really driven by people from the church who put together a community celebration, 4th of July, and that's been a tradition.
Mm-hmm.
But no, not everyone in the community would go to the church. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I think that some of that history has come and gone a little bit, but in the last few years, the Greenleaf Friends Church here next door, we consider them our partners, and they are really strong partners of ours. Have kind of come back to the fold, I guess, or have come back to support Christian education in general. It's really been strong. And
We've
the last
we've
5
always had a
years.
relationship with the
Mhm.
church. They're like the mother church, but like Ron said, in the last 5 years, it's just really expanded in their interest, and they're really making us their mission and making the school a priority, as it was in the founding.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of
Mhm.
returned to the roots of it being really their number one priority.
Yes.